The Standard newspaper reports that Zimbabwe's crippling power cuts running into several hours per day are set to spill over to 2025 due to lack of foreign currency for imports to cover the shortfalls. This is quite very ironic. You know, what is happening in Zimbabwe is pain. What is happening in Zimbabwe is witchcraft. What is happening in Zimbabwe is mediocrity that is at very alarming levels. You know, for Zesa to come out and speak in this manner, that they are even promising that the power cuts are going to come on and on until they spill over into 2025 is really sad. And when they talk about 2025, it's not going to be 2025 alone. It may also spill over even to 2028, as long as ZANU-PF is still there, of which, of course, we know that they were not going to get there. But the irony is that Emmerson Mnangagwa came out and spoke right before the whole nation and the whole world that they got 1.5 billion US dollars from China. And this was money to develop the plants of the power generating plants. And they said plant 7 and 8 were completed from that money. And he declared that there's never going to be any load shedding again. And the sad news is that that 1.5 billion that was brought in, the money was looted by ZANU-PF. That money went into dirty deals, dirty tenders, and it fell into pockets of the ZANU-PF elites, and it was forgotten. And what was supposed to be done did not happen. And today Zimbabwe is plunged into darkness. What really is this? And we have people like this Gata, Stephen Gata, who happens to be a relative of Emmerson Mnangagwa, who has continued to preside over the Zesa board. And all that is doing is failure after failure. People that are just squandering money. This is the man who was fired by Fortune Chassis, which led to the firing of Fortune Chassis by Emmerson Mnangagwa, who said, "You cannot fire my relative from that board." Mnangagwa strives on mediocrity. Mnangagwa, he loves to surround himself with non-producers. He loves to surround himself with non-actors, failures, because he himself is a failure. A failure would not be comfortable to have a hard worker around them because they will be exposed. So he would rather have people that are dunderheads, people that can't produce, people that are not qualified for whatever that they have to do, so that they also just produce failure. And Mnangagwa is cushioned because of that, because everyone will be in the very same trail of failure. It's very sad and very unfortunate. And this is the scenario that we will continue to see as long as ZANU-PF is in power. Zimbabwean people must make up their minds. Zimbabwean people must make a decision, in one united, unilateral decision of saying that enough is enough with ZANU-PF. We are only waiting for a Sarajevo that shall happen. And I can tell you that Sarajevo is coming. At any point in time, the Sarajevo is going to happen, which is going to spark an opportunity for Zimbabwean people to fight and remove ZANU-PF and Emmerson Mnangagwa. And that is not far from now. The developments we are seeing in ZANU-PF are just a sign that we are getting closer to there. So we must be preparing as a people and learning and taking notes from Mozambicans on how to unite and how to rise up as a people and resist the oppression of these so-called liberators that have turned rogue and evil. Our fight is right taken at the doorstep of Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, because failure of which we will continue to wail in poverty, in sickness, in failure, in stagnation that they have deliberately caused. The poverty and the suffering in Zimbabwe is man-made. They are deliberately keeping Zimbabweans poor so as to be able to control Zimbabweans. And this is a thing that we as a people must rise up. must stand up, must demand to come to an end. These people don't understand any other language. They need Zimbabwean people united together as one. And we push for a change. We push for them to hear the voice of the people, because as for elections, we've tried. Elections are not working. And for us to continue to be talking about election, and the next election, when ZANU-PF knows that we just rig, as long as we still have ZEC, as long as we still have elections being taken to KG6, being carried by Pumas of the military, and as long as we still have Priscilla Chigumba there, and police also interfering in the process of election and banning other parties from holding elections or holding rallies, that on its own is a red flag. We must not allow any other election again in Zimbabwe until we are sure that we have gotten rid of all this nonsense that we are seeing in Zimbabwe. That's why it's gonna be very difficult. Like this last election, the arrogance was too much. Priscilla Chigumba just read figures that were not even substantiated, and they did not care about it. And they know that Zimbabweans will not do anything about it. But the time is coming. Goalposts are shifting. Tables are turning. Let's continue to rise up as intercessors and pray for the nation of Zimbabwe. Let's continue to believe God for what God is doing in this season. It is our season for change. It is our season that we must fight for the freedom of our nation. Zimbabwe is a big, successful nation. Zimbabwe is a progressive nation, which is at the hands of wrong people. As long as we have the right people, the right leaders in Zimbabwe, we will begin to see Zimbabwe becoming the nation that we want, the nation that we anticipate, the nation that we believe God for, and that nation is coming. Zimbabwe shall be free. Freedom is coming. God is with us. God is in it, and no one will stop the train of change. Let's continue, intercessors, in our closet, believing our God, that our God is with us in this fight, in this struggle. The freedom for Zimbabwe is a reality. Till we meet again, family, tomorrow in the upcoming shows, remain blessed.